Please note the disclaimer. Alright, what the hell is cracking all my brothers? It's your boy Soria, and anyone who is new to anime, if you're watching this video, boy, you are in luck. I got you hooked. I've been part of the anime game for 2 years, about to make it 3, and I don't plan on quitting anytime soon. So let's start off with some honorable mentions: Cowboy Bebop, Heaven's Lost Property, and Lucky Star. Now, Lucky Star was the earliest one that I saw here on these honorable mentions, and although yes, these are good shows, pretty good, I just feel like they're not great enough to start out on like your very first time watching. But if you've been watching anime for like 2 or 3 months, I'd say that would be the most appropriate time to check out these ones. That's why they're on honorable mentions. You should watch them early, but not at your very first. So starting off with the actual list, at number 8 we have Hanayama. This was the 4th anime that I ever saw fully. And if you're into music and all that, if you're into plays, if you're into like concerts and all that, then this would definitely be the show for you, because it'll absolutely make you jump. It's very positive, you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like it's a good one to start off with. It's very typical, you know what I mean? And for my number 7 choice, I've chosen Chaon. This is one of the most popular slice of life animes ever, and I can definitely understand why. Just like with Hanayama, if you're into concerts or you're really into music or whatever, then this is definitely right up your alley, you know what I mean? Just 5 girls in a band, you feel me? And not only that, but it also shows some things about Japan that are actually quite true, like in reality. Like, it's a slice of life that kind of takes it a little bit to reality, you know what I mean? Kind of like Lucky Star, you know, with Chaon, you know, they're teenagers, right? They're in high school, and they're pretty ignorant when it comes to certain things, and they struggle with classes, you know what I mean? And that's actually true. If you watch this one certain Japanese YouTuber, I forgot what his name is, but I'll put a link to his channel description. He said himself that a lot of Japanese individuals, until they're adults, they're pretty ignorant when it comes to, I guess, other cultures, something like that, mainly just because of the population in their town, in their country, you feel me?
Honest with you, I used to have these stereotypes before starting my channel, and I want you to know that maybe other Japanese people still have these stereotypes even nowadays. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying stereotyping is acceptable. That's not my point. The biggest takeaway in this video is, as much as not stereotyping people, it's important to be tolerant with the stereotypes you get.
That's what the guy said himself, and so that's why I feel like Chaon is a good anime to start out on, because it kind of gives you a little bit of reality of what Japan could possibly be like, I guess. And my next one is Takukisan, and this was one of the very first few ones I ever saw. I can't remember exactly which one, but this one is another slice of life that I feel like also kind of has a bit more of a reality to it, and has a bit more of like actual real life influences when it comes to Japan, because unlike most anime, this one actually has more realistic designs when it comes to Japanese individuals. You know, most anime you see, you know, their hair colors are like the colors of the rainbow. It's like every color in the book you'll see in other anime characters' hair, you know what I mean? But with Takukisan, it's a little bit more different. It's a lot closer to real life Japan, you know what I mean? Because in actual Japan, you know, everyone either has brown hair or black hair, well, mostly black hair. And I think Takukisan executes that perfectly. A majority of the characters don't have very much variety in, you know, their hair color. And most anime that do that, they only do that just to separate the characters so you know what they mean. But I'm very glad that Takukisan was able to actually be more real about it, you know what I mean? Because in real life, you can't remember people by their hair color, you remember them by their name, you know what I mean? So that's one of the biggest reasons why I feel like Takukisan is a really good one to start off with. Now, at number 5, I have Death Note. I'm gonna be real with you, I actually watched the first episode of this back in 2016, and that was it. I didn't watch the rest of the episodes again until 2018. That's literally how it. And not to mention, it's a very short series and it's very interesting. It's very dramatic and all that. You're always at the edge of your seat wondering what's gonna happen next. The cliffhangers are the absolute best, you feel me? And it's only 37 episodes, so you know, that's one of the best parts. It's so good and it's so short, and that's what a lot of people love. Great short anime, because it doesn't take that much of your time and you have the best experience with it, you know what I mean? And for number 4, I have chosen A Lull in the Sea. If you're into dramas, you're gonna absolutely love this one. You know, I think I might have said this before, but like, even those who don't watch anime should at least check the show at least once. It's on Netflix, but it's not a Netflix original. It's not even based on a manga, you know what I mean? And also, if I said before that even if you don't watch anime, then you should still check this out. If you're about to start off with anime, then this is definitely one that you should check out, because it will just, once you watch one anime, you know what I mean, you're gonna want to have to watch more and more and more, you know what I mean? And so for my number 3 choice, I've chosen Clannad. Pretty similar to The Lull in the Sea, except, you know, not ocean related, you know what I mean? Another drama, and you know, when you first watch it, you might be that into it, but once you start to get like into season 2 and to the after story series, then you're definitely gonna appreciate it a lot more, you know what I mean? And like, when you start it off, you might kind of regret it being the first anime you watch, but once you get to season 2 and after story, you will not regret it one bit. You'll be like, okay, you know what, this may have started off a little boring, but as it continued, I don't regret it one bit. So that's for my number 3 choice. At number 2, I've chosen Sailor Moon. Absolutely one of the most popular anime like ever, you know what I mean? And a lot of people see this as like the OG anime, you feel me? And this was one of the first ones I ever saw. Like, I always heard so much about it even before like 2018, you know what I mean? I always heard about it. Like, I have a freaking jacket of it now, you know what I mean? Like, that's how much I love the show. And having it start off as one of your first, I mean, a lot of people start off with like either Dragon Ball or Sailor Moon, and Sailor Moon it's pretty different compared to most anime, you know what I mean, because it's, well, yeah, there is plenty of school moments. It was like one of the first few anime to have like superhero girls, you know what I mean? Well, they're not really superheroes, they're pretty guardians. But for my number 1 choice, I know this is gonna sound a little typical or cliche, you guys might not agree with me, but it is Naruto. Now, some might disagree with me on that, because Naruto, you know, it's just so damn popular, because like, whenever like you see the anime community, or like if you ever look at anime on social media, on the typical is mostly just nothing but Naruto, you feel me? Like, the Naruto fanbase is insane, and I could understand that being the reason why some people might not want to start off with Naruto, but honestly, I would say otherwise, because like, not only is Naruto very entertaining, like, honestly, I like Naruto more than Naruto Shippuden. Like, Naruto Shippuden is good, don't get me wrong, but the original Naruto is like OG. It's like, it's extremely entertaining, and it was like the 6th or 7th or 8th anime I ever saw, and that's another reason why I think it's a good one to start off with, because it's also kind of relatable. Like, if you're in middle school and you want to start watching anime, watch Naruto, because Naruto is a very relatable show, you know? And like, if you like go to high school and all that, like, Naruto, because he starts off as a loser and he eventually is all of a sudden the popular kid, like, it's relatable for me, at least, because, you know, I was a big ass loser in middle school, and in high school my reputation only went uphill from there, you know what I mean? So not only was the show influenced, but it's an influential show as well when it comes to protagonists and all of that, character types, you know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why I think that Naruto is one of the best anime to start off with for beginners. But so if you want to join the weeb community, the anime community or whatever, I would say these are the best anime for beginners to start off with. So you could pick one of these, whatever you want. It's really your choice, honestly, but I just think that these anime were just the best ones to start off with personally. If you want to both get into this community and avoid being a weeaboo at the same time, because I do know that there are some anime out there that can turn you into a weeaboo if you just start. Trust me, I know this because I've experienced this. That's why I left some certain anime off this list that I started out with, but they were not the best ones to start out with, no matter how much I loved them, you feel me? So either ways, I'll catch up my brothers later. I love you all, have a goodie, and yeah, bye.